Hello, everybody. Welcome back to A Certain Point of View here on the channel in 2021. It is a brand new year on the channel, and it's our first show of 2021. How is everybody doing on this fine Sunday evening?
Yeah, you really want to broach that one?
Come on, I gotta be a little. It's my job, you know. I mean, come on.
I'm just glad to be here with my friends with an alcoholic beverage. Cheers.
What are you drinking?
Cheers.
This is a pineapple cart.
Ooh. Jake,
with a straw because I'm weird.
Jake is a heavily strong opponent of anything pineapple.
I'll drink pineapple beer.
I love pineapple.
Oh, now you drink pineapple beer.
It comes in it's a mango cart. Mango carts. It comes in like a variety pack. It's like pineapple and melon and mango. So I got pineapple cart.
That's from Golden Road, right?
Fruity drink.
How's everybody else?
Oh, good. You know, trying not to cry that this is my last vacation day of. I don't even know when the next one is. God.
You had like 2 weeks off. I'm not even.
I know, and it went by way too fast.
You can like royally suck it.
I had a 4-day weekend and it went by really slow.
Oh, please.
2 days went by really fast, or 2 weeks went by really
fast. This 3-day
fast.
weekend went by really slow for me.
Yeah, same. Molly,
we're about to start our 2-week vacation.
Yeah, you are.
I'm so excited.
It's gonna be so nice.
But I'll also be studying, so.
Yes.
That's the whole reason of your vacation, right? Just secluded studying.
It's gonna be a hermit.
I cannot get away from Star Wars. No, even if I try, it's just always there.
I'm ready for.
They did effing earn it.
I'm just ready for the High Republic on Tuesday. So excited!
Also, I have to read those books.
Agree.
Which I'm like, do I wait till after my Schmoedown to do that? Because that's just more information that I don't need stuffed in my brain.
That's fair.
Good call.
I don't know.
Ooh, that's a good point.
Struggle.
I'll probably read some, though.
I was gonna say, then again, maybe it'll help you, but no, it won't, because that's like way pre-Skywalker Saga. So probably not.
Yeah. I don't know though.
Sorry.
There's one of the High Republic books has something in it that Alex was telling me about that had me hysterically laughing. So I need to get on it.
What have I been? Do I just look like crap? Is that what? This is the second week in a row that this has been said. My life literally
it's because you have your rave lights on. Is it party mode right now?
Maybe. I'm not kidding. My life is the furthest thing from partying. I literally have spent probably 8 hours today playing Assassin's Creed. And that's it. I went to the grocery store. That was the most productive thing I've done today. So, yeah, I swear to you, I'm not partying ever. So, yeah. Don't look at me. He's 3.
Me and Alex partied a little bit on New Year's.
You lit Cobb Vanth on fire.
Yeah, you guys destroyed Cobb Vanth. What the hell?
We have to. It
was a spare Cobb Vanth. It's fine.
We have 2 Cobb Vanth stand cardboard cutouts, and one of them had a hole when it delivered, so they sent us another one, which we hadn't even opened yet. And even the one with the hole in it, you couldn't even tell. But we had joked that we were going to use it for firewood or to start the fire because it had been raining. And then I ripped it up and I did.
And
I will never forget the message on New Year's Day. I use Cobb Vanth as firewood.
And then the pictures of just Cobb Vanth. I turned to Sean and he went, Molly.
And he was crispy too. There was nothing left.
Quite toasty.
It's okay. I inhaled plenty of embers in his honor.
That was what was left of him.
next to our other bag of firewood. Oops.
Goodness.
Well, with that said, we have a lot to discuss tonight, guys. We have a lot of free agency stuff. We have a lot of draft stuff to discuss. We're going to get into Schmoedown stuff. we're definitely, and Christian, I see you in the chat. We're definitely going to be getting to that, and we'll talk about that question here in just a second. Dan Merle's on the notes. He is on the notes, but we have a channel announcement that we want to drop right now. We want to drop this. We're not going to, beat around the bush for too long, and so we have put together a little video, and we're going to let you guys watch this little video right now.
I mean, I'm totally fine drinking at home alone, but I
get some wine. I mean, I can drink a whole bottle myself.
Yeah, but I miss going out and drinking with people. I don't know.
Drinking a bottle by yourself is fine, but it's also kind of sad.
Yeah. I mean, what would that even be called?
There's a term for it. What's that called again? We need more people for this, don't we?
Yeah, it can't be just the two of us.
Yeah, that's not a very fun party atmosphere. I mean, we're great, but the more the merrier, right?
Exactly.
And then he told me he couldn't bend his leg that way, but we figured it out.
Yay!
Guys, we are getting our own show. Molly and I are having a happy hour. Cheers to that.
Cheers to our eventual drinking show.
Cheers to our eventual drinking show. We are going to be having this show once a month. We're going to have a guest or guests every month, and we couldn't start the show without having an amazing guest, and so obviously we're gonna have Miss Lights Out Laura Kelly joining us for the very first happy hour with Jill and Molly. We're so freaking stoked. We've had this planned for how long, Molly?
A while.
Months. So
I think we had this planned before I knew I was gonna play Laura, and then I was like, oh no.
We did. We did. And we were and we had asked Laura to be the first host. And then we found out that you guys were competing. We were like, what perfect odds and what perfect timing. So yes, this is going to be our little fun talk show where we get to talk about whatever the heck we want because it's our show. This is
not yours.
Not yours. This is going to be Schmoedown adjacent. So it's not necessarily going to be a Schmoedown show. It is Schmoedown adjacent. It's going to be like happy hour. It's going to be like friends just chilling, having fun, shooting the breeze, talking about whatever the heck we want. We do have some plans for future shows. We got some fun ideas. So we're really excited to have you guys join us in this little adventure. So January 16th is going to be our first show. It will be a live show. Bring your drinks, bring your charcuterie boards, because we're going to have a great time.
I think we're going to have themed drinks for each episode.
Yes, each episode we're going to have a themed drink. So I believe the week before or so, we're going to send that out. So if you guys want to join us for our monthly, that's going to be a lot. Our monthly cocktail. Our monthly cocktail, we will be posting that, and y'all get to hang out and chill with us. It's we want to treat this like pre-quarantine times where it's just friends shooting the breeze with a drink in our hand and just having a good old time. And you guys are all invited to join us. It is going to be a live show. It will be live. So we're going to have that live chat going. We might have some games involved. We've got some...
Anything could happen.
Anything can happen.
I saw someone in the chat said drunk Molly and Laura trash talking.
I mean, gotta tune into January 16th.
We'll see if we can keep it civil.
We might have to have Nerd Chronic in the audience to have some potential promo work happening for that particular episode. So yeah, that's the new show that we're having over here on Certain Point of View. It is the happy hour with Jill and Molly. Cheers, y'all.
Yay, ladies show.
Yay.
I can say that this has been in the work for a very, very, very long time. Figuring out details when we want to do it, etc. And with how things are going, it's kind of the perfect time. And It's going to be fun. And I know someone put in the chat, time wise, it's going to be 5 o'clock. It's going to be 5 o'clock on Saturday. And like they mentioned,
Pacific Standard Time anyway.
Yes, Pacific Standard Time.
Oh, that's 2 for me.
That's
Day drinking.
I'm like, wait, that's 8 for you, Molly. 5 our time. That's 8 your time.
That's right. I can math.
But yeah, so look out for that. We have just under 2 weeks where you'll see the first show. I know someone had asked in the chat if it's Laura just the first time. She's just the guest the first episode. Jill and Molly are the host, and it's going to be a total blast. Expect some good things from this one, guys.
Host with the most.
In the chat, just like you guys, all them. It's all. Oh, that didn't work.
And I want to throw this back up here too because I do have it. This logo is just brilliant.
Fire.
Mr. Brian Ward, thank you so much for the help on this one. My goodness, is that a beautiful logo. So
what would we do without Brian Ward?
Yeah,
really.
Seriously.
We would just cry without Brian.
Seriously. All right. Well, with that, which is awesome. We've been sitting on that one for a while, but let's move on to the show here because we have a lot of stuff to talk about. Let's go ahead and start with the recent news that the most recent change to the upcoming year for Schmoedown, and that is that the managers have decided on, and they voted on this, and this was a majority vote, that teams will now up their players to 12 instead of 10 compared to last year. That doesn't mean they have to have 12. They can have a max of 12 players. So just thoughts on this real quick, because it's the biggest piece of news that have come out for the league so far, outside of all the free agent chaos. But with one faction down, maybe it makes sense. What does everyone think about this?
Bless.
I mean, it just makes sense to me.
When we talked about this, it makes sense for tournaments because there are equal teams now, and because like at first when we got rid of the one faction, I was like, oh no, that takes away 10 player shots, and now that's all been brought back.
Mm-hmm.
There's equal amount of teams for tournaments, so it makes perfect sense to me. And I was like, when I found that, I was just like, thank you, like, cheers,
yeah,
love it. Bring us all to the beach.
I don't know that anyone had any complaints about it.
More players. Darn it.
Yeah. What are the downsides to this?
None.
Well, I mean, so if we were going at it like last year, where there was only so many matches a week, then there might be a downside. But it's official that we're getting 3. I guess that's another piece of news. But we're getting 3 matches a week: Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, or when the matches are dropping. And so, and more players make sense. But there's no real downside because if you kept the 9 factions with 10 players as 90 players, you take one away, but you add 2 more per team. That's just an extra 6 players.
Mm-hmm.
It's just an extra 6. It's not like an extra 20 or 25 or something. It's just an extra 6 players, and adding 1 extra match a week on top of the 3 pay-per-views a month and the tournaments that are going to happen. All of these players are 100% going to get playing time.
Yes.
And it allows managers to toy with things, and it also allows managers to take chances on more than 1 Star Wars player, more than 2 Intergeekdom players. They have a backup. So, like, for example, Roxy, who had Alex only played 1 match last year. She had to trade for a Star Wars last year to be able to enter someone inside the tournament.
Yeah.
Now she can now if she keeps Alex, she can draft a second Star Wars player to play all year in Star Wars while Alex waits for the future or that match against either you, Laura, or Andrew. And so it just allows managers more breathing room for these other divisions. Also, teams, whenever we do get teams again, teams are much more important now because you're going to be able to have potentially 2 powerhouse teams if you can combine the right players.
Yeah.
There's a lot of a lot of pieces that go together by adding more players to a faction. Managers, the biggest part is managers just have more breathing room. They can do whatever they want now. They're not restricted to having just 10 and 1 Star Wars player or 2 Intergeekdom players. They're allowed to have 2 Star Wars players and 4 teams players and 3 singles players or whatever it is. And with the amount of people who can play in the league in general, 12 per team just makes sense. It just makes sense.
Especially with what Christian said, the 650 plus auditions he's getting.
Yeah.
Like when he said that, along with all the new people that's already being added to the roster right now, like it only made sense to add more players.
100%.
And it wouldn't surprise me if we add more in the future. But we definitely needed it.
And who knows, maybe, and I think I had told you guys this, but maybe this is like just because it's digital, we can add more people to teams. Mm-hmm. And then maybe this is a setup for a minor league thing down the road where maybe they do subtract players from factions down the road and they put the back end in a minor league system and they have 2 leagues going at once.
Mm-hmm. So, I mean, with the amount of auditions we're getting, it only makes sense to have.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's funny because I'm like the grandpa that doesn't like change. So like, and you can ask Jake, I'm fickle, but I like my, but the more I've sat on it, like, and thought about it, it's absolutely the right and best thing to do. I mean, it gives that flexibility of, well, now I can take 2 Star Wars players. And like Jake said, with Alex, who only played 1 match for the championship title defense, but then you also like Roxy got lucky because he did really well in IG. Well, now you don't really have to worry about that. You can literally just hold on to him. If, God forbid, he just wants to do the Star Wars and he plays 1 match the whole year. I doubt that. But, I mean, it allows a little bit more flexibility. And I think it could also result in some interesting combos of people now because you have a little bit – maybe you can play around with some wacky ideas with certain people. One of those types of deals where it's like, it's so crazy it might work. Yeah. So I think it's going to be very interesting. And you'd see a lot more personalities either working really well or not, but it makes it that much more interesting.
I think it's also going to play heavily into the sports aspect with mid-season free agency and trades. Yes. There weren't a lot of trades that happened last year. And granted, the whole digital age messed up a lot of things and it, kind of threw everybody for a loop. And we saw some, but with having the ability of having 12 spots, let's say, for example, in the draft, I know everyone's going for that number 1 pick, and I'm sure Kaiser's taking a lot of calls for that number 1 pick. Now that you have 12 spots, you can trade away picks or players that you can just pull from a free agency pool after the draft. Very similar to fantasy sports or just sports in general, where you do a draft, and if you don't like your team or say you trade spots away, you can just pull from the people that go undrafted, and they're picked up after the draft. And so it's a very heavy sports aspect when you add more people to it. It just allows a ton of breathing room for those managers. And now that they already have 1 year under their belt, I mean, they're going to go into this gung-ho and having 12 spots. Like, my goodness. My goodness. Yeah. What's up?
Sorry, I had a really crappy day, so I'm eating ice cream. Screw you if you don't think I should.
Whoever turns down ice cream.
I had a real crap day. Go look at my Twitter. So I'm eating my ice cream. Is it possible for a manager at some point in the season to just completely dump somebody and just drop them?
If it's like, if we're going at it, so that I don't think that's being clarified. And Christian, if you're still here, I mean, please comment on this. But yeah,
I'm just genuinely, do they have to be traded, or can a manager just?
So in sports and in fantasy sports, you can quote unquote drop someone. Mm-hmm. In real life, it's called cutting. You just cut or essentially extend their contract. In fantasy sports, you just drop a player. It's just called dropping a player. So
there you go.
There you go. Yes, you can.
Okay, thank you, Christian. I didn't want to be like the pessimist. Like, can they drop a player?
That's big time, because that means that there's going to be people like so. For example, last year. So say Sam Levine last year, before you were picked up in free agency, Molly. Say he dropped someone on his team in the first 6 months of the year, and he's like, "Well, I heard about this tournament. I really want to set myself up before free agency actually begins." And I know the rules were different last year, but he could have dropped someone and then signed you halfway through the year without actually going through free agency. Mm-hmm. And
with the amount of people,
nobody else is going for that player. That's a big deal, because you could come up on someone that nobody else is talking to, and they can get you a lot of points down the road.
Mm-hmm.
If
I would have had
especially-
so much more time to study.
I mean, with the amount of people too, with like available pickups and stuff like that, you could see that happen kind of like weekly.
There's going to be a
Which would
big
be
list of
really
people,
interesting.
a big undrafted list of people who are going to be waiting for a call all year.
Mm-hmm.
And it is,
I mean,
it is very likely that a manager, they go full sports at it and be like, you're not competing well. I'm going to drop you and go with someone else.
I mean,
Like,
well, look at yeah. I mean, look at the type of situation this year. If you have a free agency bank, let's just call it, where you can just pick and pull by dropping players, you could have someone sitting in that bank, a la Adam Collins, who was not drafted. He was a free agent pickup halfway through the year. You might swap him in and out throughout the season, and you might find that Adam sitting in the free agency pool.
A perfect example for last year, if this was able, was when Shannon traded Bonnie. Instead of trading her, she could have dropped her and picked up Adam Collins.
Yeah.
That's essentially what you can do. So it changes a lot of managers are going to have to, they might have to pull some big moves and be like, look, I really like you, but you're not winning or getting me points. So I need to go with someone else.
Yeah.
And it adds a whole other dynamic to the game.
Yeah. I mean, they like Christian just said, they have till that certain deadline to pick, pool, mix, match, try to figure out what's working, what doesn't work. And that could be scary
I
because
don't want to be the pessimist, but I just wanted to ask them. I'm glad it was clarified. Thank you, Chris.
no, that's a big deal.
It's a really good question. It was a really good question.
I mean, if you look at any type of fantasy sport, that you get to do that to try to make your team better.
I'm gonna be over here stirring the pot, just
Yeah. But yeah, I'm excited for that. That part gets me.
That's really cool because I mean, in fantasy sports, I mean, I'm dropping and picking up people all the time, and I would love to see a manager like go full strategist on the league and do that with people throughout the year. That'd be crazy. Like see someone with like 30 different moves on trades, drops, pickups, all that stuff. That'd be a lot.
I'm sure there will be. Someone will do that.
Out of all the managers, who do you think is the most likely
Shannon.
to make the most moves?
I because she's ruthless, yes, but I think that
She's
someone
very
like
loyal
Sam,
too.
That's true. Shannon is like maybe Winston or
I
Rob.
feel like someone like Sam, because he's very sports minded. He's
That's
a big
fair.
sports fan.
Yeah.
Someone like Coy, possibly,
Kate.
See, now I think
and Finstock.
Finstock. That's a good
For
one.
sure.
I was gonna say Kaiser, but Finstock is.
I think Kaiser's going to get a team that he really likes. I really do. I think that this is going to be a year where he gets a squad that he really likes. He's not going to have to make a lot of moves.
I think this is Kaiser's year.
Yeah, I think his team's going to be one of the one to look
It's
out.
all
for.
about who he picks up in that free agency and how he works that.
Oh, for
whole
sure, for
shebang.
sure. For sure.
Well, I haven't heard from him yet, so he's making mistakes.
Martin, I know you just asked how you send me a question. That's that link right above my head. Streamlabs.com/JakeBrilliant/tip. The link is pinned in the chat. It's the top comment. It's also in the description. You send it in, and we will get to those Streamlabs throughout the show. Let me go ahead and read a couple real quick because I think we got one or two that have popped in so far. Before we move on, we're going to move on to the free agents that were announced here in just a second. But let me go ahead and read these real quick. We got one. Oh, we got a couple in here. So the first one is from Tim Sim with a very, very generous donation. He said, "This is going to Sean Sullivan after hearing what took place. It only covers a microfraction of the cost of the MTG card collection, but it's enough to buy several deck builder kits and booster packs in bulk. No one should have to have 2021 start like this."
Tim, oh my god.
Tim, you're the man, dude. Thank you so much.
I told you did not have to do that, Tim. But thank
very,
you.
very grateful for you, Tim.
Thank you, Tim. Thank you. I really, really appreciate that. Today was crap. Today was a crappy day. But
cheer her up, Vuku. You're up.
Thank you, Tim. That means that and I'm sure I'll let Sean know. And I thank you. That means so much. Thank you.
This one's from Will Watson. He said, "Just rolling through with my typical Streamlabs crew. However, this is special because I'd love for it to go towards some magic booster packs for Sean."
Oh, you guys are gonna make Jill cry.
If
Next
anyone
one,
doesn't know what's, I see a couple of people in the chat asking what happened. You can check it out on Twitter.
Yeah, it's
or-
on Twitter. Long story short, Sean's car got broken into last night, and the only thing stolen was his Magic the Gathering collection that he's been building for the past 12 years. So it's very sentimental to him. It's worth a lot. So we've had a lot of misfortune in the past week or so. We've had people test positive for COVID in our families, and so it's just been a rough week. So the end of 2020 sucked, and the beginning of 2021 ain't getting any better. So, but I'm here, and you guys are making me feel so much better, and Sean is very thankful too. So you guys did not have to do that, but thank you so much for that. That it means a lot that we have people that are just always there for us. So thank you. I really, really appreciate that. Thank you. I'm going to probably start crying in like 5 minutes. So.
Billy is coming in. He says, "This is just because I love y'all and to make Jill smile after a rough day. Hashtag View Crew."
Yeah.
And then Brandy as well. Just wishing you all the best in 2021. So excited to see all you guys do this year and can't wait for happy hour.
Yes.
Woo, happy hour.
So there you go. Okay, with those out of the way, let's go ahead and shift gears here a little bit to these free agency. All these rookies that were announced to be entered inside the draft. These aren't players that are officially in the league. They still have to be drafted. Let me just go ahead and read their names off real quick. That way, if you did not see them, you can hear their names. So we have the Rager Rick Radis, Sonny Cat from YouTube. They are actually from Copenhagen, which is really cool. Paul Walter Hauser, the actor from Cobra Kai, and oh my God, why am I forgetting his name? Richard Jewell. Richard Jewell, the film.
Stingray.
Stingray in Cobra Kai, yes. Kim Taylor Foster from Fandom. Taylor Robinson and Jacob Blunden. Finally tailored on YouTube. Demi, and I'm not even going to pronounce.
Hey, Jake.
I don't want to butcher his name. He's a comedian screenwriter. He's actually played before. He actually has a match inside the league. Cole Wright, Eric Whiteley, Sean Chandler, Christina Fasalo, Brother Lamas, Frankie Alvarez from the Basement Yard podcast, John Flickinger from the Flick Pick on YouTube, Kofi Outlaw from comicbook.com, Riley Silverman, a comedian and writer, Eric Davis from Fandango, Josh Horowitz, host, actor, and writer. He did the MTV stuff. Beth May, Cooper Barnes, Iman Frost and Abby Corin, Tom Chatterbosh, and Josh Robert Thompson, who has been on SEN a couple times.
Cool.
Oh boy,
a lot of big names.
I feel like that's enough people to fill all the factions.
A lot of big names. A lot of YouTubers, a lot of movie YouTubers, reactors, stuff like that from across the YouTube community. I see a lot of people in the chat already mentioning some names here. Sean Chandler, Christina Fasalo, Flick Pick in here, and Beth May, Eric from Blind Wave. I mean, Sean Chandler. There's a lot of people.
I like the diversity. Everyone's liking different people.
Yeah, I don't really know any of these people that well, but I'm definitely going to look into these names. And
here we go. Christina is a fan leaguer.
Okay.
I know Jacob Blunden is a former fan league champ as well. So he's coming in as well. I don't know a lot of them either. I know I'm just excited for Paul Walter Hauser, and I hope to God his name is Stingray. Like, his name better be Stingray.
It has to be.
His name better be Stingray. Like, I'll be so upset if his name is not Stingray.
It has to be.
Reading this list just makes me happy that like something good came out of digital matches. Like we can have people from all over the world play matches if we can still do this digitally, which opens up so many doors for the Schmoedown. I mean, it's going to be awesome. I'm still happy to travel to California because now a lot of my friends live there. But yeah,
that's me. I'm one of those people.
That's all of us.
I'm interested in these people who are working for the entertainment sites. I know that a lot of people say Beth May because she, like Christian had said. Go ahead, Jill. Go ahead.
I was gonna say one of the people I'm most looking forward to is Beth May because she posted her auditions on the Facebook page, and I absolutely died. I'm like obsessed with her. So
I need to go look at
oh
them.
my god, they're so good. She's so funny. And I've heard good things about her. So I'm very curious to see how she does in the trivia, but just her personality, I'm already like Team Beth. So please someone touch her.
It's funny that you said you saw it in the chat. I'm actually kind of loving seeing their audition tapes.
Yeah.
Because it's making me fall in love with the character and whatever they're
like Brother Lamas. Brother Lamas.
That guy, I don't think I've seen a video of him, but his comments of people.
No,
like
Jill, he posted his audition tape.
Okay, because he replied to one of Sean's things because he was like, "Hey, I thought I was the only saint like here," and then he like and then Christian was like, "Oh, he's not a saint," and then the guy replied, and it was like this huge novel of like just perfection of this character that he is, and I was like.
Same with Rick Radis, the Rager. He's already got.
Stop stealing our people. If you still know that's my person that I was going to say. No, I think the character is hilarious, and I'm excited for it. I will also say the ones that I really have my sights on is Kat and Sunny, the Copenhagen ones. I'm a sucker for anyone with an accent. So if you have an accent, immediately I like you. So there's that. Hey, PLD. And I was going through their YouTube and they like review some of like shows.
Some of that right there.
So I'm excited for what we're seeing because some of these names I don't even know who they are, and I'm like, I like you.
I'm a sucker for couples on YouTube personally.
Kat retweeted us, and she was very excited, and kind of honored that she got an invite to this and to be put in the draft, which is really cool. I know Billy has also watched them. I saw that on Twitter. He had said that he's been watching them for a while. But I'm kind of interested in these entertainment people. You know, the Kofi Outlaw who writes for comicbook.com, or Eric Davis who does all the Fandango stuff. Josh Horowitz, like, you know, they're obviously engraved in the film industry, but how much of their knowledge go when it comes to trivia? And where will they be placed? Kofi Outlaw does comicbook.com, so I expect him to be IG, but he could be everything. I'm going to be very interested to see what happens, and I feel like managers might take chances on them because they are in the space just like they are. Yeah, exactly.
The space, and
we have competitors that have been like that, like Vinny's at Collider, Liz, like these people. There are those people. Jeff Snyder, like these people review movies, and we've seen. I mean, just the names I just said right there. Yeah. Exactly. So that makes it interesting, and I'm kind of curious to see. I would love to see like one of these people you automatically assume like Kofi. I'm just going to use him as an example, where it's like comic book, so you automatically assume IG, and he's like, I'm coming into singles or something like that. And you're just crap.
Well, so I don't know if this is true or not, but I saw a lot of people saying that Eric Whitley from Blind Wave could be a Star Wars competitor.
I saw some rumblings.
Yeah, so I feel like I've seen him on Twitter say some things about maybe being able to hang with the Star Wars.
If you gotta see maybe be able to hang.
Well, I'm not quoting directly. I think he straight up was like, I could probably beat Alex, which.
Oh, he's one of those.
Our level is, can you beat Bateman? That's where our level is. Is great.
No. Can you beat Bateman after 60 straight days of studying Star Wars?
Every time he brings that up, I'm gonna be like, you are a very silly man for thinking.
I just love how another conversation for another day, but he got roasted.
But to be fair, on backstage when he talked about it, he was like, the timeline could be a little bit off. I probably would need, more time. And he said like that would be like 60 straight days of doing nothing but studying. And it's like,
you still couldn't do it.
well, yeah, but yeah. I don't know. I want him to do it.
William, sorry.
I want him to do it just so he crashes and burns. That's
I want to see what he's got for just being able to just hunker down and study.
That would be an interesting like science experiment to see if it's not like you were born and raised on Star Wars and you have 20, 30 years of just knowing Star Wars. How well can you hang with just straight up sitting down and studying?
Maybe it'll be an exhibition match.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't wish that on anyone to study Star Wars for 60 straight days and nothing else. But
I did that for 30, and I was like, okay, I need to just.
You're like, help.
Help! I've fallen and I can't get up. That was
All right, before we move on real quick, I wanted to read this most recent stream live here. This is from Martin. He says, View Crew love you guys. Are you planning to have any of the announced rookies on the show? And if so, can I please suggest reaching out to Kat and Sunny? They are amazing, and their vibe feels very similar to you guys. P.S. This is also for Soli. We are. We've talked about it. We've definitely talked about it. So it's in the works. It just depends on when and who. But we have definitely discussed having some of them, a number of them, potentially here in the next couple of weeks. So just stay tuned.
We just have to figure out time difference.
Yes, for them especially.
It'll either be like 4:00 in the morning for them, or like
yeah,
real early for us. So we would have to figure that.
Molly, do you volunteer for matches in Copenhagen?
Sure.
I'll go to Copenhagen.
Vacation. I know, right? I mean, I feel like
once it's safe to travel. Yeah.
Yeah.
Heck, throw me in the draft if it gets me into Copenhagen.
I mean, for what the last super chat, I feel like honestly, it's an invitation. Streamlabs, excuse me.
If you want to do super chats, guys, get us to 1,000 subscribers.
Yeah.
Not that cool yet.
Sorry. I like honestly, it's like open invitation for anyone. Like, we don't know anyone well enough to be like, hey, you should
DM any of us.
Yeah, bye, Billy. But yeah, honestly, if anyone free agent wants to come on, it's open.
Our DMs are open. Come on our show and state your case as to why you would like to be drafted. Do you want to be drafted on the Movie Trivia Schmoedown? Then come on down to a certain point of view and state your case.
Ooh, I like that.
That's an official clip going out this week. Okay, we just got before we move on, we have one more stream that just came in. This is from Jane Dalton. She says, hey, here's more to help rebuild the collection. Sounds like a crappy situation. Also really looking forward to happy hour.
I'm
gonna start crying, you guys. Like,
thank you, Jane.
Yeah, thank you guys so much. We really, really appreciate it. View Crew, you guys are awesome. Let's go ahead and shift gears to a little bit of somber news for the Schmoedown, and that is that Mr. Tom is officially not returning for 2021. No word on future seasons, but for the next season, for season 8, he will not be returning, which is a big deal because he was a #1 overall draft pick last year. Mm-hmm. I know that his season wasn't as what he expected it to, maybe what others expected it to be, but he was a -- overall pick, and with the right partner or manager or whatever the case may be, he could have been a force to be reckoned with, and we will not be seeing him for the next season. What are our thoughts on this one?
He will be missed.
Let's be honest. He probably accidentally lost that dead body, so he needs the season to go find it. So make sure it's still hidden.
He's going all the way around the world to collect teeth. To basically he's going to be the tooth fairy for a year, right?
Is he collecting all the teeth to get Video Drew back? Is that what he's doing?
Oh,
maybe.
I'm down.
I'm down. You want teeth?
No, down for the team up of Video Drew. Give me no, you weirdo. The loony bin. I want I want the loony bin back. Give me the loony bin back. Not teeth. Why would I want teeth?
We want teeth. We want teeth.
Tom did such a great job. And I hope that he does come back. And if he does come back, then like his character work, there could be such a cool story there for like why he was gone for so long. It's just
Wouldn't it be
endless
funny?
possibilities.
It's just all the subtlest of change. You hear him say, "You want to see my dead bodies?" And you're just like, "Oh, there's more than one now."
Now there's more than one.
Um,
Busy.
there is an interesting aspect to this, though, is that now Kate doesn't have to keep him.
Yeah.
And she can open up her eyes on someone else. Obviously, Paul Preston is probably on her list to keep. That's if he wants to stay there. Leaves the door open for a Ben Goddard, for Rachel Silvestrini. I mean, she has options now that Tom, her number 1 overall draft pick, isn't in the league anymore. She can now spread that wealth out somewhere else.
Yeah, it kind of gives her a little bit more options in the sense of, do you want to keep one of your players that you already have, or do you want to go fishing for someone else that's in a different spot? Because I mean, looking at her team, I mean, she had strong keepers. Yeah, Paul didn't have a good season, but that's not indicative of Paul at all. Like, I mean,
I was like, okay. The Flirt and Flouse was defeated by Kevin.
Yeah.
Smith. Okay, I see your game here, Brian. I got you. He was like, wait, Brett Sheridan lost. Ignore me.
Sure, yeah. I mean, you have Goddard, you have Paul, you have Rachel. There was someone else that was off the top of my head that I was like, that's those.
Hold on,
three.
let me ask my other room. Do you know who else was on the Den?
Sean Sullivan.
No? Okay. But I mean, like, if you were struggling thinking like, oh, do I have to keep 3 of my players or should I go for someone else? That kind of helped you made that decision.
Like we're going to say no to that, Christian. Like
go
we're going to say
no to if you want to message me or if you want to put it in the chat, go for it.
We're down for some scoopage.
Pop in. Whatever you want.
I know
to do.
we haven't been good with the scoops, guys.
We got to get in the scoops game, Christian.
We got our scoops on the down low, Christian.
The only scoops we got are ice cream scoops.
I got
literally, Molly.
But
the chat is like, give it to me.
I know.
Now we're just all waiting.
Oh, new Star Wars. Which one?
Oh wait, so like someone who's already been in the league, or a brand new
sounds like new person.
New person in the draft. Are you gonna drop a name? Are you just gonna keep that Demolanta?
Is he playing with us?
Nikki?
Oh, Nikki!
Oh.
More ladies! Woo!
That's awesome because they talked about that, and she knows her stuff.
What?
Knows her stuff.
Nice.
Oh my!
What?
That's
I
awesome.
am obsessed with that. Oh my gosh, that's so freaking cool! You heard it here first, people. Nikki Demolanta is entering the Schmoedown draft.
Put more couples in the Schmoedown and have them on separate factions. We want to see the drama.
We want to see the relationship drama happening.
We want to see Nikki beat her husband. I mean, do it.
Bye, Christian. Thank you.
Bye, Christian. Thank you. Thank you.
Val's leaves.
Yay, good for her. Congratulations, Nikki.
Yay.
Sorry, Jake is pausing. He's like, I need to tweet out our scoopage.
Yeah, I'm trying to tweet it.
Oh, that's
congrats to her. That's awesome.
We talked about that when, like, at the beginning of the season, how we wanted to do like a ladies exhibition match, and now that's so.
Oh my god, the Demolantas versus the Damons, give it to me.
Oh my god, if we could do Star Wars teams, I'm all over it. I am all over it.
Oh, that's
Tim, Frank, David, Scoops.
Hi, Janish.
Although I feel like it would be more fun if it were me and Nikki versus Andrew and Alex.
Yes. That would be even better. Oh, yay! Congratulations to her.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Rad. That's so cool.
I mean, like it makes total sense. If she's anything like me, like helping someone study is basically studying. Jill, it's only a matter of time.
No. Everything I studied is just gone. It's just out of my brain. It does. I can't retain. That's my problem. I can't retain. Like I don't have that skill set. In my brain.
Jill's like the computer. You drag it to the trash when you're done with it. Are you sure you want to delete it? Yes.
I no longer need this information storing up space.
I mean,
there's someone's ballet though. I'll walk you out through those curtains. I can do that. I can walk you to your seat, but no.
There's a lot of random stuff that I can retain, but there's a lot of random stuff that just completely falls out of my head as soon as I lose a match and I know I'm not playing again anytime soon. I'm like, okay, who is Luke? Who?
I hope you're not talking about me because it's going to be a slaughter.
I get my ass kicked.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, like, if you give us like a 10-point handicap, maybe we might tie.
Honestly, because Jill studies Sean, I don't even know if I can beat Jill.
Oh no, you could beat me in a second. I can tell you that.
You might retain more than you realize.
That's fair. Maybe. I don't know.
I mean, we've chit-chatted and you've thrown out some, oh, that's blah blah blah. And I'm like, oh, son of a bitch.
Oh, son of a bitch.
I'm not going to admit that I didn't know that.
I've learned a lot over the past year, but like, God, no way would I be able to compete.
Jill's like, stop hyping me up, guys.
I know.
Nikki Tabalonta entering the tournament. That's freaking rad. I'm gonna message her. After the show. I'm gonna be like, dude, that's.
Yeah, I mean, look, because I was tweeting, I didn't get to say too much, but I know that I've watched some of their reactions. I've been able to catch a number of their episodes on their show. She knows exactly what she's talking about, and very similar to both of you. She has been training him. You know, they live in this bubble together. You know, as parents, and for Andrew being the competitor, she's literally writing and reading for him. Yeah. And that's big. Like I just said about Jill, you retain more than you realize. And if you start asking or like picking up on questions, they've been playing matches and reacting just like we have. She's probably realizing that she knows more than she thinks she does.
Well, it's like that old saying, like the men may be the head, but the women are the neck. They're the ones steering the boat. I mean, you guys are the ones training them. So, I mean,
I've never heard that, but I love it.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you're the one.
Brian just made that up on the spot.
No, I'm
joking.
Oh, you haven't heard that? No one's ever heard that?
I think I heard that from you. I think you were the one who did that.
Yeah.
That's from like 50 years ago. He's an old soul.
No. Yeah, no, me and Alex did.
Yes, Jake, the neck.
Me and Alex did their show, and she was firing off tons of trivia stuff, and I was like, yes.
See,
and then it even came up, I think, on the show that we were on.
Thank you.
And she was like me years ago, like no, thank you. But once you get put in, once you get that first win, you're like, ooh, give me more.
I just want to say before we move on, guys, we are officially in the Scoops game.
Boom. Boom. I'm just going to keep making my
Scoops.
Yeah. I'll leave me in the ice cream scoop one. You guys
I need to retitle the show to be called Scoops.
Call it Scoopsy Potatoes.
Scoops. POV. All right. Before we move on, we got one more Streamlabs that just popped in. This is from Miss Kylie. And she had said, Jill, I think you and Sean are amazing. I love the both of you so much. I love how you both treat me and make me feel safe in the space and his stream. I hope this helps, and I can't wait for the Molly show. Yes, ladies. Yes, drinks. Yes, karaoke. Yes, karaoke.
Oh, karaoke.
That's probably going to end up happening.
Oh, God.
Kylie, you're beautiful. Thank you.
If it wasn't made clear, Jake and I have hands off this. This is them.
This is our show, and we get to talk about whatever the heck we want. So
yeah. So
if you guys missed it, go back to the very beginning of the show about probably
or
the
you could just do
10,
it right now.
We'll
10,
play it again later. We got more scoops. To talk
10,
about.
15 minute mark. We had a channel announcement, so go back and watch that if you guys missed it. Or if you stay long enough, maybe we'll play it again. Stay tuned. Okay, let's go ahead and move on here to some free agency stuff. And there's obviously a lot going on at the moment because free agency is just around the corner. And there's a lot of things happening inside the Schmoedown. I know the awards come first, and then the free agency special is the week after. But two big things that are obviously happening, and the two biggest names are Ben Bateman and Dan Murrow. Now let's start with the former Mr. Ben Bateman. We know what happened at the end of the year this last season with Finstock and how he kind of just shed that skin a little bit, and he's very much on the outs. There's a lot of stuff floating around as far as where he's going, who he's taking calls from. There's even stuff coming around that he might actually be teaming back up with Finstock. I know someone had said recently that it might happen because Finstock is going to give him the partner that he wants, and he just has to work with his partner, not actually the manager. But overall, let's talk about where we think he can land, who we think is best fitting for him, maybe even a partner we have in mind. Because right now, outside of Dan Murrow, who is very silent on the free agency market, Ben Bateman is. There you go.
Thanks, I wrote it. Thank you.
Ben Bateman is definitely the most mysterious one, and he's the one talking the most. But we don't really know where he's headed.
Isn't that always the case?
So thoughts on where Mr. Bateman could end up heading this season?
Are we making our predictions?
We can make predictions and open discussion about just the whole shebang about it all. I have a few options, but I don't know if they're the right options.
I think he lands in the dungeon. Or excuse me, not the dungeon, the den. The den.
Den, I think, is where I'm at too.
That's where I'm
now,
at.
now that she doesn't have to land Tom. Interesting.
Closely followed by the dungeon,
Mhm.
I think. Because I think for me, I don't know if Ben wants a manager that's going to be down his neck. Like, if that makes sense. Like, I feel like he kind of wants to take on kind of like a co-manager role.
Yeah. He wants
And
a hand on the wheel.
yeah, and with Grace not there anymore, Bateman kind of fits that like
Mm-hmm.
persona.
Also, because I didn't pick the den, I had picked the dungeon, but I will say this about the den. I will say this. I think that Ben Goddard would be a fantastic partner for him.
I do too.
There's two Bens.
Because Ben Goddard he fills the geek gap that Bateman doesn't have.
Mm-hmm.
Could they be called Ben Squared?
Yep.
They would have to be,
What
right?
I was
Oh,
thinking.
B squared or something. Yeah, something.
Squared.
Yeah, I mean, and now that she doesn't have to pick up Tom, she can pull Bateman, Preston, and Goddard.
Oh, Beador's like, no, that's not happening. We're gonna stop that.
We're
right
hypothetically talking now. Come on.
So it's funny because Shepard said, I don't see Bateman playing for Kate. He wants a manager with experience. I think of it, yes. I don't see him playing for Kate. I think you kind of see him playing for himself.
Yeah.
Like, I mean.
Well, and that's why people are talking about him going back to the Finstock.
There's no way. There's no way.
I don't think so.
They were gonna up that whole thing of him splitting from Finstock just for him to go back with his tail between his legs and crawl back to Finstock.
Yeah.
No way in hell is he going
No,
back to
he's not going to eat crow. There's no way.
in hell. As soon as that was posted, I was like, okay,
Yeah.
that's not gonna happen.
I don't know. I just, for me, I could see the dungeon. That's my number 2 for him. But I just see more control in the hand of his own destiny in the hands of the den, where he can kind of do whatever he wants in that aspect. Whereas you go to the dungeon, you kind of got to deal with Kaiser. And I mean, let's be honest, Kaiser is like the step above Dagnino
But we've
in
seen
managing. So it's like
Bateman on multiple team action guy streams. We've seen Kaiser there. So Kaiser and Bateman are definitely.
Yeah. I don't know.
Really-
I'm sticking with the Den. That's who I'm putting him on. Molly's like, I don't care.
I'm only thinking about Nikki now.
Thank you, Alexis, in the draft, you guys.
Thanks, Christian. You threw off our whole show.
I know. Molly's writing her name in her new Star Wars burn book. Nikki.
No, I would never.
Oh my god, that's a character change. Molly needs the Star Wars burn book. Oh my goodness, that'd be amazing.
Ooh, and then every time you beat him, you cross their name off.
That's Hannah's shtick, Brian.
Mean Molly Damon.
Molly Damon.
We'll see what happens.
I don't know. Moff kind of stuck to you a little bit.
I know that. Well, that's what people keep calling me. I need to talk to, I guess, Christian or whoever picks me to be on their faction. It's about changing my name because magic.
Magic to me, Molly. Magic to me.
Stop it. Well, okay. For Ben Bateman, the first thing I think of is team action getting back together, and if so, thinking about it that way, like, are they going to try to get on the same faction?
So, I know that we all think this isn't going to happen. Obviously, Bateman going back to Finstock, but this. Let's get ready. They were talking about this the other night on the show. They had a little scoop of their own where they had basically said that the option of Bateman going back to Finstock could be happening because Finstock is currently in heavy negotiations with Kaiser for that number 1 overall pick in the draft to give up a lot to keep. So he would keep Barbarian, Roka, and Bateman and then use that number 1 pick to draft a major player and have 2 super teams.
And what does Kaiser get out of that?
A lot back. Nothing was revealed as far as what, but he would get a lot back, obviously.
All of his picks.
But what I'm saying is that if he went back to Finstock and he got the partner he wanted, what if they used that number 1 pick to draft Andrew Guy and they brought back team action?
I love Andrew Guy, but he's not.
I mean, Sam's the number 2 pick.
What do you mean? To like draft Andrew Guy? Or
oh wait, never mind. He'll get picked up by then.
Yeah, no.
Sorry. I keep forgetting that they can mix and match.
Yeah.
Yeah. Never mind. He's not getting.
But he gets to pick early, doesn't he?
I mean, the people are coming. Oh yeah, Sam. Yeah, Sam has the number 2 pick.
Yeah.
But I was, for whatever reason, thinking he was going to fall into the actual draft, but that's not happening.
No, he'll be one of the 8x3. He'll be one of those 24 people picked.
Yeah,
more likely, I would think. Anyway.
Yeah, he will. I don't know. I'm sticking with the Den for right now with him. That's where I'm sticking with that for now.
I agree with Shepard, unfortunately, because I would love a team action, but I 100% agree with.
That's fair.
I agree too.
I personally think that Bateman needs to go for someone who has a lot of IG knowledge.
I do too.
Personally, and someone who fits that fold is the Barbarian. The Barbarian really does fit that fold.
Although I do like him in the dungeon too, though.
So do I. That was my pick. I think that he would fit really well in the dungeon.
Yeah, I might have to go with that.
Talks of, I know this would probably be impossible because them getting on the same faction would be slim to none. But Bateman and Merle being a team.
I don't. Maybe as like a revenge tour against Finstock and Roka, but I don't see that happening this year because. And we're going to talk about Merle next, but I don't see Merle going to any faction anywhere near what Bateman's going to choose.
That's fair. Yeah, I concur.
Any thoughts on Bateman before we move on?
I think it's going to be the Den or the dungeon.
I think it's one of those two as well. I agree.
Yeah, I do.
It would make more sense.
Agreed.
All right, let's go and shift to the next big player, and that is Mr. Dan Merle, who has, out of everyone, been the most quiet so far. Nobody really can get a grasp on where he's headed. There's obviously ideas, and I know that Repeat the Question has also had rumblings or said rumblings that there's some possibilities out there. My personal pick, just from what seems to fit it the most, is someone like Sam Levine, the suspects. Ethan Irwin is there. I'm not saying he'll team with Ethan Irwin, but the possibility is there. He's also a manager that he knows and that they're friends outside of the league, and it's not just someone random. But there are all also options like the Quirky Mercs and Koi, which is an option.
That's who I was going to say.
He could easily swoop in and grab someone like Dan and give him a partner that he really wants, and maybe this is the year Dan goes into IG. It's very possible.
And then, because I would imagine that the Quirky Mercs are going to be in Koi's 3 capped. Like, we're all in agreement.
So it'll probably be Shazam. You're talking about Shazam, right?
Shazam.
Yes, so Shazam. And then that third spot is either going to be Kevin Smith or someone outside of their faction, even though I think it should be Morrow, but I don't think Morrow's going to go back to Koi.
Can you imagine Dan Murrell and Kevin Smith on a team?
Right? That'd be crazy.
It'd be awesome.
I have 2 places I think Merle could end up. And I'm sorry, I'm out of the scoops game. There's so many I can't keep up. So if there's higher priorities, I've missed it. But I 100% could see the suspects, because even the thought of Ethan and him is terrifying as a team. Yeah. If they ever were to team up, let alone 2 individual singles players. And you know,
I mean, I got the first match of the season. Come at me.
You do.
Come at me.
And
managers.
I mean, I'm gonna throw a random name. I could see him just being like, I'm gonna have a little fun and going to the dungeon and just messing around with Kaiser.
Well, yeah, I mean,
I know.
Kaiser's a little bit too picky, though. I mean, he would be stupid not to take Dan if Dan wanted to go, but at the same time, like, he might have a set couple of people that he really, really wants, and Dan might not be on that list.
What if Swag is a possibility and teaming with someone like Oyama?
Yeah, we haven't talked about Swag much.
Yeah.
Oyama and Dan would be really interesting.
That would be a very interesting team.
I know that
would not be
their knowledge is somewhat similar.
That's my concern with them is that I think their knowledge is pretty.
But if Dan has said in the past that he thinks he can compete in IG, that covers a lot of bases that maybe Paul doesn't have. Because Paul is very classics oriented. He loves his Pixar. You know, he's really good at these older categories where Dan is too, but Dan knows his action movies and his IG movies and that type of stuff because he's a critic. Like, he reviews them on a constant basis. It could be very interesting. And Winston with Dan Murrell on a hands-on manager like that who kind of gives him free reign and also gives him to have some fun.
Yeah, Paul was in the IG tournament.
Yeah, that's true. That too. That's true. That's right.
Yeah, I mean, if I had to put a bet down right now, I'd probably go suspects just because that. I know teams isn't a thing technically right now, but if that ever comes into fruition, an Ethan and Dan team, I would be scared of that team. Yet alone having those 2 as your singles players going into a tournament, I mean, hell.
Yeah.
You're looking at least semifinals, possibly. So,
are we in agreement that Sam is only going to keep Ethan Irwin?
That's what I think.
I think so.
And grab 2 players from the field.
Like, what about me?
Molly's out of there like a hot potato.
I'll go wherever.
Molly's going to be a merc.
Sam's a nice guy, but I haven't heard from him in a long time.
Oh.
Over 1,000 generations.
I know. I'm some managers, if they want to pop in and pitch to Molly right here on the show, by all means.
We said it about the the new people. That goes for managers too.
Come on here and state your case to draft Molly Damon. Come on, certain point of view.
I mean, she has the first match, for God's sakes. So just throwing it out there.
So this was an article posted by
Caca. That's what I think it is. Caca. A big old pile of caca, as my grandfather would say.
I know Jeff Snyder. He likes to stir the pot. No way in F is he gonna.
Well, also we have to keep in mind that they have the belts. Like they have the belts.
Yeah.
So
insert poop emoji here.
So
That's
if
right.
he leaves, and Draco has to go with him because you can't have team belts and be on separate factions.
Yep.
No way in God's green earth are Snyder and Draco.
I will say this. I could possibly see a situation when, if they do lose the belts or win, maybe a possible trade. Like Snyder kind of goes heel against Roxy and Draco or something. But right off the bat, no.
Here's the thing.
Snyder Whisperer. No way.
There is no... Go ahead. Sorry. I was going to say, there is no way on God's green earth that Roxy is going to let Snyder slip out of her hands to Gucci of all people. There is no one, probably less likely out of all of those managers that she would let slip out.
Real quick, actually, it is possible. Apparently, if Snyder decided to leave, the belt would be vacated.
Ooh.
Yeah, but why would you want to
Well,
vacate
someone
it?
said Snyder said in the Facebook group that he wants to defend with the Odd Couple.
Yeah,
I don't know why you would want to bust
just
your ass just to.
Belt would be vacated, so only like Draco would hold the team's belt, and there's just one other team's belt floating around. Like,
yeah, it doesn't make sense to me. The Snyder vacating a belt is not, I don't think, in his.
You think he's gonna go through that revenge tour and then just give his belt up?
Yes, exactly. Thank you, Shepard. No one's gonna work their ass off to vacate a belt immediately.
It's Jeff goddamn Snyder. You think he's just gonna be like, I'm gonna throw my belt away so I don't have to be on my favorite manager's faction?
I mean, he just became like the best teams player of all time by winning that belt, and he's just gonna go, okay, I'm done. Here you go. I'm done with
Narnia makes a good point. This next season is called War.
War.
But you gotta be smart to fight in a war, and Jeff Snyder's he's not stupid. He's not gonna give it.
It's very true.
Way in heck.
Plus, that would be too much shirtlessness on one team.
That's a lot of shit.
Someone. I don't know where that comment.
Someone said that.
Someone said, where'd it go?
Oh, sorry, I stole your joke without knowing.
I don't know.
Sorry.
Comment went.
First we're stealing magic cards, now we're stealing jokes.
Oh, here we go. It was Rachel. Faction.
Oh, Rachel.
There you go.
Sorry, Rachel. But yeah, no. I don't see that happening even 1%. So I could be wrong. And if that's the case, I'll fall in my seat backwards. But I don't see it happening.
Machine Gun Molly.
Yes.
Oh, God.
Okay, well, any final thoughts on Dan Murrell and where he can possibly head? Anyone want to make a prediction real quick?
I'm going to say suspects.
Mercs.
I think I'm saying suspects too.
Sticking with Mercs. I don't know why.
That'd be interesting. I mean, that would put Coy in a
Shazam and Dan. That's not a bad start.
Yeah, he would just need to draft an IG player after that. So,
True.
All right, well, that's going to wrap up tonight's show, everybody. We have talked about everything we need to talk about. We got an exclusive on the show. Thank you to Christian Harloff. If you missed that, Nikki DiMolanta is officially joining the Star Wars division and will be entering the draft for 2021. Also, if you missed the beginning of the show, should we just play the trailer one more time for what we announced?
Absolutely.
All right. Here it is. The channel announcement here going forward in 2021.
I mean, I'm totally fine drinking at home alone, but I
get some wine. I mean, I can drink a whole bottle myself.
Yeah, but I miss like going out and like drinking with people. I don't know.
Like drinking a bottle by yourself is fine, but it's also kind of sad.
Yeah. I mean, what would that even be called?
There's a term for it. What's that called again? We need more people for this, don't we?
Yeah, it can't be just the two of us.
Yeah, that's not like a very fun party atmosphere. I mean, we're great, but like the more the merrier, right?
Exactly.
And then he told me he couldn't bend his leg that way, but we figured it out.
The blooper clip gets me every time.
I love the head tilt at the exact same time, unplanned.
Head tilt.
So,
yeah. So for those of you who didn't see it earlier, we have a brand new show coming, Happy Hour with Jill and Molly. It is going to be, as Jill put it, a Schmoedown adjacent show. Schmoedown will come up, but it's also kind of being aimed to just be a nice little happy hour show talking about a number of things, whatever these two ladies want to talk about.
I mean, you want to talk about scoops?
Scoops. We're gonna be dropping scoops left and right.
Women in scoops.
Women in scoops. Hashtags.
we're gonna need to get you to like custom like ice cream supers and be like scoops time.
Good time.
Kylie, the merch is coming. The merch
It's
is
on its way.
Don't worry, the merch is coming.
We can have a golden ice cream scoop, and we can give it to whoever has the juiciest scoop.
So
Oh boy!
I want a mug of that show.
Plug.
I know a
nice.
lot of people in the chat are already asking for other guests. Well, we have people planned out, but we're not going to reveal anything just yet. It is starting out for now as once a month. It'll be directly in the middle of the month on a Saturday at 5:00. So stay tuned for that. You'll see what February's is, and I can just tell you right now, we have a big one planned for February.
February's gonna be.
And hey, you know what? If this show becomes popular, maybe they do more than one a month. I'm not just throwing that out there.
Myself a good happy hour on more than a monthly addiction.
We do multiple happy hours a week, basically, on this show.
Giving them more reason to drink? I mean, I'm not saying.
The wine bottles are just going to be stacked up behind you guys in your
We're
background.
just gonna every empty bottle that we finish, it's just gonna be like a collection. Like it's
You guys are gonna have a graveyard afterward.
I'm gonna get a tiny beer hat.
For Grogu.
You need to get him like one of those little bottles of vodka, and he can just hold it in his hand the whole time. Or fire.
Airplane bottle.
Yeah. Oh, good.
We'll see how the first one goes, Narnia, but don't be surprised if it happens right after the first
Everyone
one.
would not be surprised if it ends up being more than one.
Ooh, candy cocktails, Rachel.
Ooh.
And we can
I
make
have
Jolly
an
Rancher
awesome
vodka.
I have an awesome recipe, and Jake can attest to it. Oh wait, no, he can't because he didn't try it.
Gabby
my
can.
Jello shot, my blue Jello shots.
Ooh.
Gabby's nodding her head saying, yeah, they're pretty good. So
I'll
There you go.
hit you guys up.
all right, well, that's going to wrap up POV tonight. Thank you to everyone who was watching. And again, thank you to all of our Streamlabs. You guys are so generous for what you guys have done for Jill and Sean. Thank you guys so much. We really, really appreciate it. I know they do too. And so until the rest of the week, stay tuned. I know that we're only doing one show a week right now. Go ahead, Jill.
MC2A.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yes. I know we're only doing one show a week right now, but we will be doing reactions here shortly. Also, if you want more POV content, we're still doing Patreon stuff, guys. We're doing reactions and our Q&A is coming up this week. We're doing watch-alongs. And if you are interested in that, hit that Patreon link, join us, check it out, see what tier is available for you guys or interests you the most. And yes, as Jill mentioned, we are going to be hopping on for Chill to Action with C2A with our fellow award nominees here in just about 45 minutes or so. So go ahead and head over there in about 45 minutes, around 8:15, and check us out. I believe it's going to be either me and Jill or me and someone else popping in there for the show. And then, so.
Oh, Lord, that's right. It's a new month, Kylie. There's Q&A. God help us.
Bring it on. Bring on the
I will say
Q&As.
we got a ridiculous amount of questions for this one. So
Oh, Lord.
it's going to be a fun one. So, if you guys are interested in our Q&As, the Q&As, I mean, the Patreon alone is good enough for the Q&As. My goodness. So check those out. If not, we will see you guys the rest of the week and then on Sunday. So thanks again, guys.
Bye.